Chapter 19, Future Active Middle Indicative Workbook Exercises. So let's look at the parsing first. Are there any parsing questions? Oh, yes, let's do that. There we go.
Number 7 gave me a lot of... Oh, we're not doing... I'm in sentences, my bad.
Yeah, we'll start with the parsing first. Anybody have any parsing questions? Yes, number 3. Ooh, look at that one. Genesamen. Say that with me. Genesamen. What do you think the lexical form is here, Taylor?
You take away the sigma.
Yeah, so we can bracket out personal ending, omicron, sigma. You're left with gene. What might that be from?
It's beget, right?
Okay. You know that verb? What's the lexical form?
Yes.
That's it.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah. So it's genao. Genao. So where did this eta come from here on genesamen? Yeah, it's a contract vowel. There's my contract vowel alpha that's lengthened to eta here. Okay? So remember, that's what happens with contract verbs. They're contract stems. Stem vowels will lengthen before the sigma tense formative and other tense formatives that we're going to learn as we go on in Greek. So I need to recognize then that the men ending is easy to identify for person and number, isn't it? Men is first plural. And is it active or middle passive kind of ending?
Active.
It's active. So I can go ahead and put A for my voice, right? It's active and indicative for mood. And then that sigma tells me it's future. And so I just need to make sure now that I've got all of the parts figured out that I translate it properly. First person plural is who? We. And then we want to give it a future sense. So we will or shall. And then genao is beget. So we will beget. Produce, give birth. I have a hard time just imagining why any person would use a first person plural form for that verb. But I guess I could create a scenario. Okay. Any other forms? Does that help?
6.
Number 6. So we have blepses. Blepses. Here's the deal. So there's the ace ending that looks like the second singular, doesn't it? Now, how do I know if this is future or not? What am I looking for the future tense? I'm looking for a sigma. Do I have a sigma here? Yeah, sort of. This psi, is a labial plus a sigma, isn't it? So it's, it's going to be blep, blub, or blefo, right? And the only one of those that is a vocab word of ours is blepo. So what does blepo mean? To see. So I do have a sigma indicating future. Is this an active or a middle passive second person singular ending? It is active. And we're still in the indicative mood, so it's future active indicative. So how am I going to translate this? You will see. So future and active. You will see. Number 9. Okay. Is this a verb? Halus. Okay. Is it a noun? Like a real noun? Or is it an adjective? Yeah, what's the lexical form? Halas. Good. How many forms are given in the lexicon or the vocabulary list? It's halas, hale, halan. So I have 3 endings, don't I? So what does that tell me about the part of speech this is? If it were a noun, what would I have with my vocab word? I'd have a genitive form and then an article to tell me which gender the noun is. There is not any of that stuff here because adjectives don't have just one gender. Adjectives have to be any gender to be able to modify any noun of any gender. Okay, so I've got a three, what I refer to as a three termination adjective. There are three terminations or three endings possible. The first one given is masculine, feminine second, neuter for the third. You see? All right, so this is an adjective. And what does it mean? Yeah, whole or complete. So I could say something like, you know, give me the whole loaf of bread. And I'm going to use a form of halas with the word bread as an adjective. Now, take a look at the us ending here. That is a case ending that you've learned way back months and months and months ago. Which case, gender, and number is that case ending? It's accusative, plural, and what gender? Masculine, exactly. Accusative, plural, masculine. Since I'm not dealing with a verb, I don't need to put anything else in these boxes. Just accusative, plural, and masculine. And how would I translate this? Same way we just talked about, right? Whole. Now, it may be a plural form of the adjective, but in English, do I change my English word for the adjective to reflect gender or number? No, I wouldn't. So whole is it, or complete. Is that okay? Make sense? All right. So, any other questions on parsing here? All right. Shall we move on? Okay, so number 7. Oh, we have hexate. Say that with me. Hexate. And this is from what verb?
No.
What's that? No? Yeah, it's from echo. From echo. And what we have here is a rough breathing. Hexate. Hexate. So, who remembers what the real root of this verb is? The real root. Have we ever had this conversation before? Uh-oh. I don't know. I may need to get a permission slip from your mommies and daddies here. The real root of this verb is this. We pronounce that sech. Sech. Okay? It's not sex. Sech. Now here's the deal. In Greek, words that were sigma initial, drop the sigma and replace it with a rough breathing. Okay? So it would have been sech would have been hech. Okay? But this chi and this rough breathing together don't play nice. And so it switched to a smooth breathing due to the chi. It became ech for the present stem. Okay? So sech, hech, ech. Okay? Now, in the future, I'm going to see the sigma. So the sech is used for the future stem. Okay, but I'm going to add a sigma to the chi. Now, what's the chi and a sigma going to become? when a he, a velar, and a sigma come together, they produce a xi. So now it does sound like sex right here, okay? But the initial sigma now is going to drop, and when it does, what sort of breathing mark does it normally become?
Rough.
It becomes rough. Now, there's no he here anymore, right? It's a xi. So this rough breathing feels very comfortable before the xi sound. So it stays hex versus ech, okay? So the future, when I add that sigma, is going to be hex. And that's what we have here. We have hex, then the connecting vowel, then the te, okay? So this is just the future active indicative. Te, second plural, okay? So how am I going to translate that? You, plural, so y'all, will, future, have. Okay? So this is not related to erkamai at all. This is related to echo. Okay? I'm glad we've had this talk, kids. All right. Any other questions? All right. If not, let's take a look at the warm-up exercises.
They go over Ada.
Ada. Yes. Let's do that. Okay. Shall we recite this together? Everybody. Akuse tis tain phonein autu. All right. So what did you translate this as, Philip, and where did you struggle?
Oh man. So I didn't know what to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
He will hear anything or one certain one. So anyway, and then the voice of him.
Okay. So look at tis in terms of the form. What case is it?
Is tis a subject?
Ah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's tis and t are the lexical form, aren't they?
So anyone will hear the voice of him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, anyone, someone, a certain one will hear. And then your direct object.
Okay.
All right? Good. Other questions?
Yes, Zeta.
Zeta. Everybody, let's say this. Ready? Blepsete kai ulalese. All right? So, what? How did you translate this?
You all will see and will not hear.
You all will see and will not what?
And will not hear.
Hear?
Speak, sorry.
Yes, that's it. Will not speak. Okay, are these both future tense? Yeah? Do you see the sigma in the blepsete?
No, but I see it.
I know it's him.
Ah, that's right. You don't see it, but you do hear it, don't you? Blepsete. So yeah, sigma plus the, what's the consonant that's interacted with the sigma? P. Okay, so blepsete. And la lese. What kind of a verb is la lese? What's the lexical form is la leo, and so it is a contract verb. And so my epsilon has lengthened before the sigma too. So yes, both are future. Now, any particular issues or problems here?
I guess it was just the word order that
Mm-hmm.
confused me. But I got it now.
Okay, good, good. Any other questions about the warm-ups?
Can we do gamma?
Gamma. We are just moving backwards here. Okay, so gamma, everybody, let's recite. Sun oxo tus carpus mu. All right. Sun oxo. What is the lexical form of sun oxo? Okay, so we have a verb sun ago. Can you see how the xi has come out of sun og? Taylor, do you see that? When I stick a sigma in there, gamma sigma becomes xi, right? So this is what tense? Sun oxo? Future. Okay. Who's the subject? With that omega? I. So, and if it's future, it's I will Sunago. What does sunago mean?
I gather.
I will gather, or I will gather together. Tus carpus mu. My fruits, or fruit, right? Because fruit, you know, when you say, hey, look at this basket of fruit, that in English could be singular, but referring to a collective set of fruit. So it probably sounds funny in English to say fruits, unless we mean types of fruit. Yeah. All right. Any other questions here? Hey, there's hexe. What's that mean? He, she, or it will have or hold. Now, yeah. Is taphos the subject or the direct object? Okay, taphos could be nominative. Could taphos be accusative? Yes. So it could be either. So the light of life will have, or some he, she, or it will have the light of life. Which one probably is better? The latter. Because to have is a verb that you expect the direct object with. It's transitive. So I would go with taking this as accusative, even though technically it could be nominative as well. All right. Anything else here in the warm-ups? Epsilon. Okay. Everybody, soon emoi parusantai. Okay, so how did you translate this? Yeah, they will go. So this is tai, they. Why did you translate it as future?
Because of the sigma in between.
There you go, that sigma. So that's the future. Good, so they will go. Why didn't you translate it as a passive form? They will be gone. Well, it's because this verb can't be made passive, can it? All right, so with me, that good? They will go with me. With me, they will go. The word order's a little bit unusual if we translate it in English word order, right?
That's how Yoda would say it.
With me, they will go. Yeah. I could see this being the answer to the question, with whom will they go? And the answer might be, with me they will go. Where you put the with me in first position to give prominence to that. All right, let's take a look at your translation work here. Any questions here?
For the warm, sorry, can we do beta?
Beta. Okay, so no worries. So autos peri heautu lalese. Where's my verb? Do I have one? Yeah, lalese is my verb. What's my subject? Autos. Why'd you say that? So far away from the verb. That can't possibly be the subject, can it?
Because how to is a prepositional phrase in the middle.
Okay, those go together. And give me another reason to take autos as the subject. Nominative, right? Okay, good. So what does autos lalese?
He will speak.
He will speak. Peri heautu?
About himself.
Yeah, about or concerning himself.
So that was right.
Yes, that was perfectly good. Yep.
So with prepositions, they always go with the word that immediately follows it.
Yes, for the most part. Now, your prepositional phrase could have a lot of other things sort of sandwiched in between the preposition and the object of the preposition. So you do have to, be careful to find out, okay, where does this prepositional phrase begin and end? And then keep that all together.
What's the best way to determine that?
Well, one of the things you want to do is you want to look for whatever the object of the preposition case could be or should be. You want to try to go find that case, a noun in that case. And then there might be some modifiers that are in front of that noun that come after the preposition. So Like if I wanted to say something like concerning the over the top saying, okay, in Greek, I'd have peri, and I'd have the word lalia in the genitive case, and then I might have another modifying prepositional phrase that comes right before, or right, maybe even right after the saying, but whatever the case, there might be some things smushed in between the preposition and its object. So you just want to try to figure out what's the object of the preposition, and then are there any modifiers that are going to in some way agree with that noun, that object of the preposition? Like if there were attributive adjectives, they'd have to agree with the case of the noun that's the object of the preposition, and so forth. You know, if we have a chance to look at any examples in longer sentences, these are short sentences, you can't really pack too much in here. We'll do that. Okay, but anyhow, we're good here with beta, so let's look at the translations over here. So any questions?
7. For sure.
Okay, so let's look at 7 here. Oh, wow, that's a lengthy one. Okay, well, let's practice our reading. Ready? Everybody in unison? Amen, amen, lego humin, ha pistuon, es ame, ta erga ha ego poio, ka kenas, poiese kai medzona tuton poiese, hati ego prostan patera paruamai. All right, good. Go ahead and start translating for us, and let's fix you where you're broken.
Okay. Last kind. Verily, verily, I say to you,
Mm-hmm.
the one who believes, this is where the one who believes in my works or deeds or actions that I do.
Okay, let's stop there. So the one who believes asame is in me. Okay? Now there is kind of a break here, but you can't see it because there's no punctuation. The one who believes in me, ta erga ha ego poio, the works, and what word is that?
I have no idea.
That's the relative pronoun. Okay?
Say ha.
So has he ha, exactly. That's accusative. Why? Well, it's the object of poio, which I do or am doing. Okay, why is it neuter accusative? Or sorry, neuter plural.
Okay.
It's the head of that relative clause is ta erga, or the antecedent. So the works which I do, kakenas poiese, that one will do. Now what's going on here is ha pistuon es ame is what's sometimes referred to as a nominative absolute. It doesn't have any function in the sentence, in the clause that comes right after it. It's just sort of sitting there as a way of raising a topic in order to make a comment about it. Like I could say something like this: Charlie, he's a really cool guy. What's the subject of that sentence? It's actually not Charlie. He is a really cool guy. He is the subject. The verb is, and a cool guy is the predicate nominative, right? Charlie has no real function grammatically. It is what's called a nominative absolute. Or some people refer to this as pendant case. That's from Latin for to hang. Casus pendens.
It would be like saying behold or something like that.
Yeah, basically it raises a topic to get you to consider it, and then goes on to say something about it. And it will use, this sort of a construction will use some sort of a pronoun to that refers to what the thing is that you've brought up as a topic. My brother in New York, his car broke down the other day. Okay? So the his is referring to the brother in New York. All right? So here the kakenos this is a form of kai and a kenos, which is masculine singular. And it's masculine singular because it is referring back to ha pistuon, the one who believes in me. Okay? So the one who believes in me, that guy, that one will do, there's the verb, so this is the subject and this is the verb, and then the direct object was way over here, will do the works which I am doing. So we have a direct object that has been fronted in front of the subject and verb. So the one who believes in me, the works which I do, that one will do. And then I have another clause. And meidzona tuton poiese. And he will do meidzona, which is a comparative adjective, more, tuton, genitive plural, more than these. Or greater than these. Why? That's what my hati clause tells me. Hati ego prastan patera peruamai. Because I, to the Father, am going. All right? So part of the difficulty here is having our direct object before our main verb. And knowing that there is a bit of a break here between ame and ta erga. Now, Philip, you wanted to say my works. But in order for it to be my works, you'd have to have some form of ego, like in the genitive case. So ta erga mu, for example, the works of me.
No, I shouldn't understand how it works, so I just
Yeah.
kind of forced it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
I had no idea.
Okay, good. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
How often is I say to you, like together?
It's actually not that frequent, but it predominates in the Gospel of John. You'll see it in John's Gospel frequently.
I wanted to say, or add to your example of the nominative absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Charlie or whatever?
Yeah, Charlie, he is my brother or something like that. Or he's a really cool guy.
Right. It could be, well, in that example, well, I didn't see it, but I saw that it could be like a direct address where you're addressing someone named.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So in that sense.
That's right. So in that sort of a situation,
With the direct address comment.
here, I'll do this. So Charlie here could have a couple of functions. So if it's vocative in function, then Charlie and he are two different people, aren't they? Charlie, I'm talking to you. He, that guy over there, is my brother. Okay? So that's one possibility. If Charlie, though, and he are the same person, they're co-referential. Both of these words refer to the same thing, co-referring. Then Charlie is a nominative absolute. Okay? And another term for this is called left dislocation. And the reason it's called that is because my basic sentence would have been simply, Charlie is my bro. Okay? But what I can do is I can sort of take Charlie out. I can lift Charlie out of the sentence and move him to the left, and then put he in between Charlie and the rest of the sentence, where he and Charlie still refer to the same entity. Okay? So Charlie has been, as it were, left dislocated and is now outside of his, typical place. So left dislocation is a really cool term, And you might use it on Jeopardy someday if you ever get on the show. Okay, any other questions here? Yes. 5? Let's look at 5. Okay, so here's the amen again, Lego humen. So we already know what that means, right? Okay, I say to you, hati erkatai hora. What's that mean? Yep, a time or an hour is coming. Kai nun esten. And now, esten. What's that? Yeah, this is a form of a me. It's in the present tense. So, and now is. It's what person and number? It's third singular. Let's remind ourselves the forms of a me in the present. A me, a, estin, esmen, este, asin, right? And so this is the third singular. So why is it third singular? Because the hora now. Okay, so the hora is coming and now is. Hate. What's hate mean? When hoi nekroi, the dead. Okay, what case is hoi nekroi? It's nominative, plural, masculine. So it's the dead, meaning the dead ones. Okay. What use of the adjective dead is this? When it stands for a noun. Substantival, right? When adjectives function as nouns, they are substantival. What's the function it has? It's the subject. When the dead akususin. What tense is akususin? It's future. I have that future tense formative sigma. So the dead will hear. What will they hear? Tes phones. The voice. Tu huiu. Of, that's genitive case. So the voice of the Son. Tu theou. Of God. So the voice of the Son of God. Kai akusantes. And the ones who hear it. Zesusin.
Okay, yes, that's what I, can you?
Yeah, what's the lexical form of this verb? Any takers here? What's the lexical form? It's not. It's zao. What's zao mean? To live. What kind of a verb is zao? Yeah, yes. It is a contract verb. A-o, e-o, and uh-o are my contract verbs or contract endings, right? So what's going to happen to this alpha before I add the sigma for the future? It's got to lengthen. So za has to become ze, add my sigma for the future, and then my personal endings, right? So that's third person plural, but with the future. So that's, yeah. So it's they will live, and the they is the hoi akusantes. So those who hear it will live. All right. Any other questions? You have 1 minute. We can tackle anything if you want to. Okay, real quickly. 6. So, kai essesthe. What tense of a me is essesthe? Future. There's my sigma. So how will you translate this? You will be. The stay is you, sigma is will. Okay, so you will be, and you will be misumenoi, hated. He tells you what that means. And here, hated is passive verb form, so I have hupa plus the genitive. So what does hupa mean with the genitive case following? And it's for the object? By. That's who's doing the hating. You will be hated by Pantone. All. By all what? Yeah. So what's the gender? We know this is genitive plural. What gender is pontoon here?
Masculine.
It could be masculine. Ah, could it be feminine?
Yes.
Really? Pas, pasa, pon. Remember, this follows 3-1-3. So if it's feminine, it has to be first declension, which would be pason. That would be the feminine form. This is pont, which is a stem that ends with consonants, right? And that's what makes it third declension for the masculine and the neuter. So this can only be masculine or neuter. So you will be hated by all men or by all things. So probably people. Dia ta'anamamu. Now dia is a preposition that can take two cases after it. Accusative and genitive. And it has different meanings depending on what case follows. What is the case of ta'anama? It's accusative. So what is dia plus the accusative? What's it mean? On account of. On account of. Dia plus the genitive is through. Okay? Diuretic is liquid that goes right through you. Okay? Here, it's dia plus the accusative. So on account of ta'anamamu, my name. Yep, on account of the name of me, or my name. On that happy note,
I have a quick question. So,
we'll end.
even though it's masculine, could it have like the connotation of men and women?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So masculine plural forms can do duty for mixed groups as well as men only. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Spanish similar.
Yes,
Masculine
yes.
is both, but the feminine is only feminine.
Yes. Yes. Right. Okay, good. Thank you.